Hey everybody, this is take two because apparently I deleted the original video. And any rate, this is this day in history for uh, June 10th, 2024. Um, so we're gonna just get right into it because I got things to do, like go to the gym and go on about my day. Birthdays. Um, Gustave Courbet, born in 1819. He was a French painter and the leader of the realist movement. 1921, Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, British prince, is born. 1922, American singer actress Judy Garland was born. 1953, U.S. Senator John Edwards. He made a bid for the presidential election a couple times. He really he had grown to prominence or like being a main figure in the public limelight. I remember him from the 90s when I was still in high school. He was really starting to make a name for himself. He's a Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient, 3 times Purple Heart recipient. Although that last Purple Heart's kind of questionable. There are reports that he deliberately sat on a hot machine gun barrel just to get himself a wound. It was during a firefight, so he was wounded in combat, and because it was his third Purple Heart, that made him eligible to go home. So he is from Massachusetts. He is a Democrat. Um, I think he tried to kind of like fashion himself off as a modern day Kennedy, even though he's not. As well, um, Kennedy actually, you know, earned his Purple Heart in World War II. But I digress. 1959, Eliot Spitzer is an American lawyer and politician. He was born on this day. 1977, Benjamin Millipede, a French dancer and choreographer. He was born on this day. So we're going into the history, and that is 1190. Frederick I, Frederick Barbarossa, he was the Holy Roman Emperor. He drowned in the Salif River. He was involved in the Third Crusade there, and uh, was weighed down by his armor. That's what I'm imagining is how he drowned. Is you got to remember that armor uh, weighs about 65 pounds, 70 pounds, and if you have no means of getting out of the river quickly, then you're gonna drown. Um, Similarly, in World War II, a lot of guys that when they had to jump overboard on the Higgins boats, they were weighed down with all their gear. That a lot of those guys, a lot of the deaths at Normandy, storming the beaches, a lot of them were drownings because they were so weighed down. And again, a a soldier will carry, historically speaking, will carry about 65 pounds worth of gear on them, and that's been true all throughout the ages. So Frederick I drowns in 1190. In 1772, Rhode Islanders boarded and sank the HMS Gaspee. It was a British revenue cutter in Narragansett Bay. I think I pronounced that right. Um, it's it's one of those things that's leading up to the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War hasn't started yet, but it was, it's just like the Boston Tea Party. It's these little things. It's the powder keg. It's the next thing that kind of leads to the big spark off. Um, the British do one thing, the colonials retaliate. It's tit for tat. It just cascades out of control until finally in 1776 we declare independence, and then all hell breaks loose when the war breaks out. So 1865, Tristan and Isolde is it's first performed. 1868, Serbian Prince Michael III is assassinated. And that assassination, what it ended up doing is it derailed the movement, the efforts of the Balkan League. They had plans for openly rebelling and basically rebelling against the Ottomans, who kind of occupied the area. What ended up happening was that with his assassination, there went their movement, and the Ottomans quickly squashed any forward progression that they had. 1940, Mussolini declares war on France and Great Britain, thus siding with the Axis powers, which would be Germany and Japan. 1977, James Earl Ray had escaped prison. Now, James Earl Ray is the man who was convicted for the assassination of Martin Luther King. I believe that was April 4th, 1968. James Earl Ray had a hunting rifle, and he was propped up in a room, like a boarding house room, a couple blocks away, where he had a clear line of sight to Martin Luther King's motel room. And when Martin Luther King came out of his motel room to go do what he was going to do for the day, he's shot dead. So James Earl Ray was actually convicted on that murder. He was sentenced to life. But it is on this day in 1977 that he escapes prison, only to be captured 54 hours later. It's on this day in 2007 that HBO series The Sopranos would air for the last time. In 2016, Canadian hockey player Gordie Howe dies in Toledo, Ohio. And that is this day in history for June 10th. And my apologies for filming this days later, but as I was going through my videos to upload them, I realized I had inadvertently deleted June 10th. So this is me filling in for that. So filling in for that day in history of June 10th. So we'll do it again. We'll be back again tomorrow doing the same thing over and over again. Be well, take care, and have a blessed day. Bye.